Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyles, community, and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. We are a week away from the Musicians for More Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert. And we're going to be talking about that at length today because it came out of a lot of community spirit, and it came out of 4 people that are very intertwined with Moore County and always helping other people out. Before we start that conversation, as I understand it, we have 3 days left to vote for Chris Metzger, the Pinecrest High School football coach. He had advanced to the final 15 coaches for U.S. Cellular's Most Valuable Coach contest. It's so easy to register. He has moved up the charts, and he has a very real opportunity to garner a $50,000 grant, which would be much needed. And everyone in town gets a chance to vote, and you can vote often, once a day. I even signed up, and it was easy to do, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. And November 13th is the last day for voting, so we please encourage you all. Coach Metzger is not just a football coach, he's a mentor, he's a role model, and when he talks about his team, he doesn't always talk about football, he talks about creating champions for life. So there are life lessons that he imparts, and these kids, whether they're the guys on the football team or the cheerleaders or any person associated with the program, the impressions that they get in their junior and senior year in high school are indelible, and they stay with you for many, many years. So Chris is in a very unique position. I just urge you to go to themostvaluablecoach.com, register, make up a password, an email address, and you're ready to go. We'll see what happens in a couple of days. A couple of weeks ago, Hurricane Florence and Michael came through. And we've had some situations here in Moore County where, even though we're a few weeks beyond that now, there are still a lot of people who have suffered and are suffering from the events that it caused in certain parts of Moore County. This morning, we have a panel that's come in that they're going to talk about the event. It's called Musicians for More Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert. It's going to be November the 17th from noon to midnight. There are going to be over 30 local musicians, and $1.50 is going to be donated for every Railhouse beer sold. And there'll be a non-perishable food drive, a winter clothing drive, and they're asking for suggested donations of $5, but anything that you can give if you come and you listen to the music would be gratefully accepted. And all the proceeds are going to be going to the families in Moore County displaced by Hurricane Florence. Okay, that's it. Now I want the people who are at the table to do the talking. I'm sitting here with the 4 people. To my left, Julia Brockmeyer, from More Choices, and to her left, we're talking to Pam Partis from Vision for More. Musician Jordan Cranford is here, and Railhouse Brewery cheerleader, manager, Nicole Meyer is here. I'd love to hear the story, how this came to be and how the 4 of you kind of all got together. And I don't know who wants to start because it's a great story.
I'll
Jordan.
start because it was kind of my idea. I was on Facebook one day and I saw my friend John Rachel's posting about his neighbors in the Lobelia area who had been devastated by the hurricane, and I wanted to do something to help. I'm not really handy, but I'm pretty good as an organizer. I know a lot of musicians, and I thought it would be this big event we could put on to really raise money to help these people.
Right.
And I contacted some of my friends who are musicians on Facebook. I posted it out there, the idea, And I got an overwhelming response from my friends and from other musicians in the area. They jumped on it. They were like, I would love to be a part of it. Let me know, how this proceeds. And then I had posted it, and I believe that's when you messaged me, Nicole. We had been, we met through a friend of mine about doing makeup for the Day of the Dead event that they're doing, but I have a previous engagement.
Day of the Dead?
Yeah,
event?
so a few weeks back we did a Day of the Dead celebration at the bar.
Oh.
So it was kind of, costume contest, but we also had flamenco dancers
Catchy
out.
phrase.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
You got my attention.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. So we had not actually met in person at this point.
Okay.
We just had spoken over the phone about this event. And then we friended each other on Facebook. And when I saw that she had all this overwhelming response for the musicians, but was missing a venue, I said, well, if you can't find anywhere else that's larger, you can use Railhouse. Like, we'd be happy to host you.
Right.
So...
pretty serendipitous.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you as you were speaking, Jordan, had you played at Railhouse Brewery? I mean, the venues in Moore County that you have played at, you obviously are connected in the musical realm.
Yeah, I know a lot of musicians. I've been doing this a while. But I couldn't find a venue. Most of the places I was looking at were either just not going to work due to distance. I didn't really think we could get a whole lot of people to come out to certain areas that I was looking at. And I had reached out to a few other friends of mine, and I was waiting to hear back when I got the message from Nicole about using Railhouse, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So it was just, like we said, it's serendipitous.
Okay, so take that serendipity and put it across the table, and Pam Partis from Vision for More is sitting there.
Yep.
And she has done a couple of concerts, more than a couple of concerts this year, with the same spirit to raise monies for different... Pam, I'd like you to... Did you guys know each other?
No, we met through Julia. Who I...
Huh, what a surprise. Julia Brockmeyer?
Yeah.
Really? She knows people?
She knows
Oh,
so
my
many
God.
people. I knew her from
so shy.
Swank. Initially, I see you in Swank all the time.
I first met you at the Raising the Roof concert at the Sunrise Theater.
I know, but I still see you at Swank a lot.
Oh, I love Swank.
I do too.
So we became friends on Facebook, and that's how I found out about it. Jordan actually messaged the More Choices page and told me, hey, I'm organizing this. I don't know exactly when, I don't know exactly where, but I just wanted you to know about it, so maybe you can help promote it. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is something I want to be a part of. Like, I want to get back to my community. So I said, hey, how can I help? And from there, Jordan and I met, and I was blown away because she had 4 pages of notes. This was 3 days after she sent me the message. I was like, oh my gosh, this girl's on it. By then she had a date and a venue.
Right.
And I asked her, do you have a nonprofit that you're working through? And she's like, oh gosh, we should probably get on that. And so that's where I had the idea to get in touch with Pam.
Okay.
And Pam was very gracious, and Pam's been awesome. Pam's very experienced. So thank you, Pam. We couldn't do this without Pam.
Pam, tell us a little bit about Vision for More and what you've done, Cliff Notes version, so people get an idea how much you've done for the community.
Sure. When I got the call from Julia, it was an interesting set of emotions that went through me because she told me about what you guys had planned. And, Bob Bailey founded Vision for More back in 2015 with the concept of supporting local community, supporting Moore County, and helping those who help others. So when Julia told me what was going on and said, would you be interested? It was kind of a no-brainer. I mean, it fits our mission perfectly. That combined with the fact that when I first moved here in 2005, my first volunteer job was running More Friends for Mississippi. Do you remember that, Paul?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I went to help out and volunteer, and that was when Moore County adopted Bay St. Louis, Mississippi.
Yeah, and I think Bonnie McGowan was intricate. She was also involved, and her kids were.
Right. Yeah, and we had the kids go down, and
they're not kids anymore. Now they're out of college.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, and so I ended up meeting with these lovely young
Right.
ladies who are passionate about what they're doing, and we talked about it a little bit and how they were going to distribute the funds and select the families and such. So very impressed and very pleased to be a part of it.
Yeah. You know what strikes me is that Saturday, November 17th, is about a week before Thanksgiving, a week and a half, and it kicks off the holiday season in Moore County. And Moore County is such a giving community, and the spotlight on Florence victims and the Christmas spirit and the holiday spirit are all kind of like coming together at the same time. And it's a great opportunity for people to get together in downtown Aberdeen, which is a very cool town, and people are discovering it and rediscovering it, and it's got its own little vibe. It seems like a lot of good things are coming together all at once. We can't pick the catastrophes and the disasters, but the timing of this seems like, I think you guys are going to have a great turnout.
Speaking of generosity, Bill,
Yes.
we've already raised close to $7,000.
Have you really?
We have not even had the concert yet. We're actually helping families already. Thanks to our platinum sponsors. I'm going to plug you, Bill.
You don't have to plug me.
But I have to.
My
Bill
pleasure.
Sahadi of 4 Properties and American Roofing are our 2 platinum sponsors. And we've also received generous help from the Cisco Corporation, Sandhills Gymnastics, Sandhills Bowling Center, Concrete Service Company, and Life 103.1. And we have a handful of silver sponsors as well, and just people so eager to help. It's been amazing.
It's Moore County is. We've done so many shows over 9 years. We talk about Moore County as a county of haves and have-nots, and there is an underbelly in Moore County, and people in the southern part of the county don't always see it. But your focus is beyond the southern part of the county to people who really need the help. I think when you first started this, Julia, you actually had a mother with her kids who were displaced from their home, and you were actually going to go up to see her to supply her some bedding.
So
Do you know the one the story? There are probably so many.
yes. Yeah, this woman was living in a hotel for a while with her 3
hotel.
kids.
Okay.
I saw it on Facebook, and I messaged her and I asked her if she needed any clothes, and she did. So I took her some clothes, I took her some food, and she was getting ready to move into an apartment. Fortunately, she had somewhere to go, but she had lost everything in the flood. She and her kids were living with her grandmother in a trailer in Lobelia, and Little River literally came through their trailer. And her story is like so many other stories. But what happened was the grandmother was home alone at the time, and the fire department had to come rescue her. Everything was ruined. So now the grandmother's living with a friend, and the mom and the 3 kids did find an apartment, but I mean, they had nothing. They had no mattresses to sleep on. So I actually raised money from some friends and found a mattress guy to give me a really good deal. First choice mattress, actually, on 15501 by Cox's Harley. He gave me a really good deal on a queen and a full size. So I kind of rallied around this one family, but with funds that we collected from this fundraiser, we were actually able to give her a gift card to Walmart to buy almost all of her kitchen items, like her microwave and pots and pans. And we were able to buy her furniture at the Habitat Restore. We were able to get her dressers, a TV stand, some shelves, a couch. I mean, she was beyond thrilled. So now Nicole has found another family. If you want to tell a little bit about them.
Yeah, so their story is very, very similar. I believe they actually were staying with a family that live in the Aberdeen area during the actual hurricane, but then when they did make it back out to Vass to check on their property, everything was just destroyed. They had, I believe it was 8 feet of water in their home. And the really tragic thing, I mean, they lost all their furniture, they lost all the clothes, they lost everything, but so much of that can be replaced. The very, very saddest part to me is that they lost all their family photos. Everything had mold on it.
Keepsakes,
So
yeah.
all of that stuff is gone. So they're a family of 4. They've got 2 small boys, husband and wife. They were able to find a different location to go move into through a friend. but we're going to be helping them, reset up their home with some furniture. Keys Appliances out in Aberdeen is actually helping us and donating some appliances for some of the families that we're going to be assisting. So they'll have, washer and dryer soon. Again, like small things that you kind of take for granted. You just assume, you move into a house and that means your appliances are there. Well, no.
Yeah. I always thought when I bought a house as a kid that there should be brooms and dust mops, and they just come with the house. You don't have to go buy them, right? A vacuum cleaner should be there.
Yeah.
What did you know? So there's a strong spirit of volunteerism, but I think it's important to note that the musicians that are going to be performing, they're all donating their time. This is not something that this is a gig that actually, sometimes you have to do a gig and you have to pay the talent so much, and it just cuts into your margin. But and Pam is nodding yes with a knowing smile. Yeah. But this is actually everyone is. You've rallied 30 different groups or musicians.
Over 30.
Over 30. Are they all from the state? Are they local?
Yeah, they're all from here. They're all local ish. Okay. One is from Sanford. One's from West End. I've got Becca Ray. I've got the big names that are in Moore County. That most people around here that go to live music know. And then some are not really known yet, but they should be. They're friends of mine who I go to karaoke at Rudino's every Friday night.
Do you? And you blow them away?
So there is an unusually talented group of individuals that go to karaoke there.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I got everybody I am used to singing and seeing them sing and perform. I got them involved.
Tell me, what kind? What's your genre? What do you enjoy singing?
I sing everything.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do everything.
Do you play an instrument?
I play guitar and I play piano a little bit too. I'm more learning piano and guitar right now. So
ballads, folk. Help an old guy out with a description.
Sing us a song,
Sing
Jordan.
you a song. Oh.
She's so good.
Is that right?
When I first heard her at Raising the Roof at the Sunrise Theater, I was like, oh my gosh, who is this girl? She has such a soulful voice. You're very blessed.
Tenor?
No.
Help me out.
Mezzo soprano.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Maybe we can talk you into something in the second set.
Yeah, just tell me what to sing.
Are you from Moore County?
Yes.
Are you familiar with Nell Stahl?
Mm-mm.
Okay. She went off to Nashville. Her mom and dad live in Southern Pines. She was the oldest of 3 girls. She sang at the Jefferson locally. She sang in Pinehurst. She got a recording and a writing contract in Nashville. I think today she would have been a sophomore in college. Anyway, she went with these high hopes, and her heart was up here. And I think she's learned how tough a business that it is. And I don't know if she's had setbacks, but maybe some disappointments. But it's a tough business to make your mark in.
Yeah.
We're going to come back in the second set. We're talking with the people who are responsible for Musicians for More Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert, which is happening next Saturday from noon to midnight at the Railhouse Brewery. This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our second set, All Things Moore County. Our topic today is the Musicians for More Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert, and we're talking with the people that have made this possible, and Nicole Meyer from Railhouse Brewery, Jordan Cranford, a local musician, Julia Brockmeyer from More Choices, and Pam Partis from Vision for More. The event is going to happen about a week and a half before Thanksgiving. You're raising money for needy families. You're trying to help them provide a bridge to get back to as much of their normalcy as possible. The day is 12 hours long. It's not just going to be a musical event. You want to talk a little bit about some of the things that will be going on, because we're going to get into the music, but this is going to be a large undertaking. So
Yeah.
please fire away, Julia.
It is. We also have a face painter lined up. So if you want to bring your kids, Kim Kirkpatrick with Fancy Faces for You will be there from 12:30 to 3:30. We also have food trucks lined up from 3 to 9. Come hungry. We're going to have
Oh, good.
Roman Round Pizza. The Marketplace, love their stuff. Barry Bowlful, and Rita's is going to be there throughout the day as well. They'll probably be there a little bit longer than the food trucks. So definitely come hungry. They will be donating a portion of their sales as well. If you don't like beer, because we are obviously selling a lot of beer. This is Railhouse Brewery.
And it is a Saturday.
And it is a Saturday, so come thirsty. And they are donating $1.50 of every Railhouse beer sold. If you don't like beer, that's okay. We're going to have Reverie cocktails. Tony Cross is donating a keg of one of his cocktail mixes. Thank you, Tony.
Wow.
And we'll also have some wine as well. We won't be able to donate any portion of the wine, but if it gets you in the door and you don't like beer, we'll have that. We'll have that as well. So something for everyone. We also have Wine and Design. Jordan, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Wine and Design is doing a Paint It Forward event at the Railhouse Brewery on November 17th at 2 o'clock. You can go on their website, Wine and Design, and select the Southern Pines location. The artist who will be doing the class, his name is Janessa. They only have 10 tickets left.
I know Janessa. What a small world. Okay. She's great.
They only have 10 tickets left according to what I'm looking at right now. So
Okay. How many people do you know with the name Janessa?
none.
Not many. It's a really cool
It's a West
painting.
Coast
It's
name.
called Carolina Strong.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's
She did
the
that?
shape of North Carolina.
She did this?
And then she'll teach people how to paint along
Yeah.
step by step.
Oh, that's terrific. That is terrific. You can't just look at things. It's radio. You have to talk. Otherwise, people go, why all the silence?
What is he looking at?
Sorry, we were looking at a picture.
It's very nice. You want to paint it. You want to sign
It's
up.
beautiful.
Makes a great Christmas gift.
Right.
Yes.
So there a lot of people are being rallied in to help. People are donating their time. People are donating their money. The musicians are donating their time.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have over 30. We have 32. Looks like 32 musicians on the docket for that day. We've got Barry Field, Becca Ray, Mark McKinney and Company. And if you want to talk about Mark McKinney, Nicole.
So Mark McKinney and Company, they are actually from the Pembroke area, further south than us, but their families were hit very hard by the hurricane. Jonathan, he is the guitarist. His mother actually had just gotten her house back in order after Hurricane Matthew.
Right.
And then Florence came and just wiped everything all away. She had 12 feet of water in her house. So this is, something that's very near and dear to their hearts. They're very happy to be participating because they had family members that lost everything as well.
We've also got Terry Gore. She's a local girl from Robbins, also known as the original Carolina girl. So that's kind of cool. We have her.
No relation to Leslie.
Nope.
Pam will know what I'm talking about.
Nope. We have Jen Hillard, 2 Stories Wide, Tony Barnes, Loner's Crowd, Jonathan Robinson. You can see him at Wine Cellar. We also have a performer who is actually one of the people we're trying to help. Her name is Michelle Gagnon. She's a singer, so she's going to be performing for a little bit in the 5:15 slot. We have Erin Fusen. She plays piano and harp and is a beautiful singer. Alexa Roberts, Lemuel Subdias, Raven Escobar, Joe Fry, who is a very talented blues guitarist from the Robbins area, Joey Kennedy, Alex Wheeler, James Vallone, Motor Junkie. I will be performing. Ricky Jacobs, who is just phenomenally talented vocalist and actor. Nina Dashwood, Faith Bardhill, Samori McLaurin, Katerina Kahari, Sarah Michelle, and Soulshine Brotherhood. Just to name.
You got all these people together.
Yep.
It's crazy. That's terrific. What is the event, Pam, that they have in Southern Pines in the summer, where you buy a ticket and you can go to 6 or 7 different venues and there are different music? It's just escaping me. I'm drawing a blank.
That's the blues crawl
That's
for the
it.
Sunrise, but they're not doing that this year.
They're not.
No, so I'm suggesting that this is the replacement. Now, maybe this is an annual event.
Well, the Sunrise, I do have to say, is having a blues concert.
Okay.
It's the same night as our concert, but we don't have blues music at our concert.
Well,
so
we have Joe Fry. He's a blues musician.
Oh, okay. So we have one blues musician. So
And they're
yeah, but no more blues crawl. The committee that did it for years and years and years was just
I didn't know that.
Nope.
But
But that's okay because it's still going to be cool.
Moore County has become a great place to listen to music.
It has.
absolutely.
Crazy. You have so many different generations who live here. You have all different genres of music and events everywhere. But what you guys are going to do on the 17th is going to have the concept of a crawl all day long, 12 hours, all in one place. There's no crawling. There's just sitting and drinking and helping people less fortunate, and probably a great social gathering event as well. And finally, the weather has turned, so we are in the autumn spirit. And it should be noted that all these proceeds are going to, your goal is to sponsor X amount of families?
10.
10 families?
10 is our goal. We wish we could help everyone, but we just are being realistic about it and realize if we can just help 10 families get started again, we know we can't help them rebuild, but at least we can help them get out there and get some of the items that they lost. And Christmas is coming. They might want to use, what we're going to do is buy gift cards for the families to places like Walmart, Ross, things like that. So they can buy the things that they need and want to buy.
Pam, with your experience with Vision for More, you must have a mailing list from here to Los Angeles and back.
Wishful thinking, Bill.
Not that far?
Not quite that far. I'm working on it, though.
But you're also doing a lot to help get the word out through your, you've had how many concerts in 2018?
Four
or
five.
five.
Well, we partner with Judson Theater Company, so for the Miracle Worker. Yes, and I'm working on next year's lineup. But I wanted to mention there may be listeners who cannot attend the event, on
the 17th.
on the 17th, but they can still go to Vision, the number 4, Moores in moorecounty.com, to our website, and we have a link there where they can make a donation. So we actually have a donation button if they want to contribute. They're more than welcome to mail us a check or drop by the office and let us know maybe they have something they can donate or want to be of support and help in some other way.
Yeah. Growing up in an urban area most of my life, and then finally settling here in Moore County, I found that it's these organic exercises that grow from inside out seem to happen more in smaller communities than they do in larger communities like cities. It just seems like everybody gets involved here, and Moore County is a very giving community. Everything becomes personal. It's a small town mentality, but it also helps to network in a small community much more quickly than it would in a large city. There's not that anonymity that you have, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you came from a large.
Yeah, it's so interesting how you can. We often talk about this, how you can have an idea here and make it happen,
Right.
and really make a difference and have an impact.
Right. One of the best networkers and marketers in town is sitting to my left, Julia Brockmeyer. And I tell people this all the time because we work with her for our advertising. She's so wrapped into this community that when she had her /quote-unquote ribbon cutting, I'll never forget it. It came a couple of months after she officially started. But here's what she had. You walk into the Sunrise Theater and you have a literal buffet from all the different restaurateurs, some of the people in town serving and advertising their food. Some of them are new businesses. And then they sat in the theater. And she had, I don't know how many businesses you attracted there, but you were like your own business association. It was the most impressive ribbon cutting I had ever been to. She had her family there. She had, and it was theatrical, but she was trying to introduce herself. She was also trying to help a lot of local businesses. That's what I love about Moore County.
Yeah, and Becca Ray sang. At
That's
my ribbon
right.
cutting,
That's
remember?
right. That's right.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
You know, that was the win-win that you threw that win-win blanket over everything that you did, and
Like surprise.
so I'm not surprised that you're involved with this.
So I'm honored to be involved with this, and I thank Jordan for allowing me the opportunity to, help her with her big idea.
Yeah. I wish you guys the best. You're going to keep advertising. We have a week to go. People can come. They can bring their kids during the day. They don't have to leave them home or get a babysitter, right?
Right.
And have the kids do their face painting.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Get their face painted.
The event is Musicians for More Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert. It's next Saturday from noon to midnight. There are going to be over 30 local musicians. There are going to be other things to raise funds for these needy families, including $1.50 donated for every Railhouse beer sold, food drives, clothing drives. They're asking for a suggested donation of $5. Any donation that you give would be appreciated and accepted. And people can go online to Vision for More to make donations if they can't come. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season. Julia.
Also, if you want to bring a check written out to Vision for More, we will accept checks as well, and it's a tax donation.
Yeah. We're going to actually come back in the third set, and we're going to speak to a couple of the volunteers because this is starting to spread its arms much larger than just the idea that Julia presented to me a couple of weeks ago. And some people who are in the community who are going to be involved in the event in the capacity of volunteers, who also, by the way, have a long list of friends and networks of people that they're starting to talk to about as well. So we hope to see you next week, the 17th, at the Railhouse Brewery. We'll be back in the third set. Thank you. Welcome back to our third set of All Things Moore County. The Musicians for More Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert is next Saturday. We were grateful to have our 4 guests. We hope it draws exceptionally well from noon to midnight on the 17th of November. At the beginning of the show, I spoke a little bit about another type of voting that's been going on since Election Day is now in our rearview mirror. There is another type of voting, and if you've watched social media, it's all about Pinecrest High School football coach Chris Metzger and the mostvaluablecoach.com contest. There are 15 coaches, as I understand it, and it's very easy to register. And every day on Facebook, I'm reminded how easy it is. And what an impression that Chris has made on the students, both today's current players and students from the past since his tenure started here. I guess it was 2006 or 2007. I'm being joined this set by 3 mothers, who have had their sons in the program, either currently or in the past, and I want to introduce them and get their reflections on Coach Metzger. And for those people who haven't voted yet, there are 3 days to go. Tuesday is the day the voting ends. Chris is in first place. There are 15 coaches, and 2 of the coaches are at about 22%. and that's Chris and another coach. Everybody else is a distant third. There's a $50,000 grant and a $30,000 technology package available to the winner. So we wanted to assemble these ladies to speak a little bit about Chris. To my left, Carrie Garbach. You have two boys. You have twin boys who are sophomores,
Yes, they're sophomores this year.
and they're on the varsity team.
They are.
That's great as a sophomore to be on the varsity.
It's quite a blessing, yeah.
What position do they play?
I have one on offense and one on defense. One
Okay.
is the backup quarterback, and the other one is an outside linebacker.
Okay. They must come home and they're still at the edge where they're going to talk to their mom, right? And share everything with you?
If I ask enough questions, yeah.
If you ask enough questions. What kind of impact has Chris Metzger had on both your boys?
It's been pretty tremendous. It has certainly been a schedule to adjust to.
Right.
But it sure makes them feel like they're part of something really big.
Right.
And, it's different than just a after-school practice for an hour, that they kind of experience in the middle school realm. But they make it very special. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of coaches involved that help Coach Metzger, and they're so great about taking a really vested interest in each kid, and they know their names right off the bat,
Right.
and they'll all even recognize me, even in the grocery store. I
Is that right?
so it's really personal, but they have really learned to take it really seriously and realize the value of how much their hard work affects everybody around them, and they're really counted on by a lot of people to do well. So.
Yeah. Before we started the show, we were talking before the show, remembering things from our high school past, our own, and how we can remember things from teachers or coaches or mentors that we carry with us today as adults. And these kids are in these formative years, but they're getting the foundation for those indelible impressions.
Yeah, and I think, there's the saying that people might not remember what you always said, but they're going to remember how you made them feel.
Right.
And I think that's one of the greater impacts that football program has on our kids. They really feel important and part of something special.
Are you recruiting people to vote online for Chris?
All the time.
TheMostValuableCoach.com. I'm going to keep saying it. And if you go on Facebook, there are lots of people, lots of parents who are encouraging people to sign up. We need as much help as we can get because the lead is so narrow and it changes daily.
It changes minute by minute,
Yeah.
It feels like. Yeah.
I also want to introduce Jan Williams. Jan's son, Ben, was a JV quarterback during Coach Metzger's first season here.
That's right.
And that was that 06 or 07?
It was 07.
It was 07. And then he went on and played 4 years for Coach. He came in and inherited a program that was kind of trampled down.
That's correct.
And
I first met him in that spring of 2007, Coach Metzger.
Okay.
And my son Ben was a freshman then. And we had watched the football program almost become non-existent. They were
That's
going
right.
to do away with the varsity team
That's right.
because of lack of participation. And anyone that could turn this program around, I thought was going to be a miracle worker. And first thing we heard when we got there was about Coach Metzger going to start a Breakfast of Champions.
Right.
It's starting at 5:30 a.m. And I'll never forget thinking, who is going to get these boys out at school on the football field at 5:30 to practice football? Before, the athletes were not even coming out, after school.
Right.
And Coach Metzger was the ultimate motivator. The kids started wanting to be a part of this program. Right. They were buying into it.
Right.
He was so positive from the beginning, and lots of new players started coming out. And a new trend of practicing football all the time started back then at Pinecrest. It was awesome to see. Chris Metzger had so much energy.
Yeah. I remember back in 05 and 06, I would get up in the fall, and I would see that Pinecrest lost 73-0, or they were just, you're right, it was just a program in tatters. And what he's done, I remember going to a lunch they had for him at Mid Pines to introduce him to some of the people in town, how impressive he was and how he spoke. And what a good role model he probably was for your son and all the students that bought into the program, as you say.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Ben, I asked Ben about this. He's at home working with us now, and this was 11 years ago.
Right.
And he is never going to forget Coach Metzger.
Tell me about Ben today. Where is he now?
Ben is, he graduated from Appalachian State.
Okay.
He has 2 small children, 8 and
Okay.
8 and 6.
Okay.
And he's at home with us working on our farm.
Gotcha.
He majored in business administration. But I asked for his input on this too, and he just said that Coach was unbelievable from the start, getting players motivated
Right.
and ready to train throughout all types of practice. Before Coach Metzger, discipline was most definitely lacking at Pinecrest, and he did a great job of teaching and instilling the discipline.
Yes.
He said his team went, the varsity team that year, the freshman year he was there, it was 0-10. And the first year he was there, it went to 5-7 the very first year.
5 and 7. That's a big improvement.
It is.
Okay. I also want to introduce Lisa Hayes. And Lisa, your son was in the program and has graduated?
Yes, I also have 2 sons that were in the program. I actually was part of the fundraising group, a Patriot Pride, that helped bring Coach Metzger here and really set that forth.
Okay.
But I got involved because I really felt like we needed more organization and more county and with our football and the youth. My son, I had 2 sons, and my son has graduated. I think one of the lessons that he told me is that he actually gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning and does his homework for college still. He says that his mind is the clearest.
Yeah.
And he said it's the perfect time to get things done. So I think that that's some of the things that Coach Metzger still says today.
That's right.
I think some of the most important things that I've seen throughout the years, volunteering
Right.
and still volunteering with the team, is that anyone can be a part of the team and anyone can volunteer with the team. I actually overheard one of the kids say, are you still on the team? And he goes, no, I missed too many practices, but Coach Metzger said I could be a manager. And he still felt part of the team, and he was so happy. He goes, well, that's great. We're glad you're still here. So I really feel like that's the culture that we're creating as a team. And with the Booster Club, too, we have many volunteers that don't have children on the team.
And you were very active in the Booster Club.
Yes, I've been very active. I always tell people I make sandwiches, paint the field, whatever is necessary to help the team. So it's kind of my life's passion right now. I'm trying to step back a little bit, but I think it's a worthwhile cause.
Yeah. The best thing you can do for a high school student, whether it be through athletics or a debate club or so, give them an opportunity to show discipline and structure. Because if in the absence of discipline and structure, they would have been like I was when I was 16 and 17, always getting in trouble. But truly, it's they learn and they can transfer the skills and the successes that they have through athletics into other fields when they go to college and beyond. We were talking a little bit before the show. One of you, I think, Jan, you had said you were familiar with the movie Radio, which Ed Harris played a football coach. Ed Harris went to my high school, graduated a couple years ahead of me. When he was interviewed about that movie, they asked him, what did you draw upon to play the role as a coach? And he cited his high school football coach, Buzz Fersker, and what an impression that he had on him. And I remember when Ed was a senior, I think I was a freshman or a sophomore, and I would observe, and he was the captain of the football team. Anyway, he took all those life lessons 40, 50 years later and acted out in a role. So these coaches have a great impression, make a great impression on our kids. This is the last time we're gonna be able to vote. We have today. We have till. Is it Tuesday at midnight or Tuesday at 5 p.m.?
I think it's midnight.
Okay. So again, if people it's so easy to register, isn't it?
It really is. It's all they ask for is your email address, your cell phone number, and a name. And then after you log on, it's very, very quick and fast. I think everybody's trickiest part is just remembering to vote. And that's why we put out so many Facebook messages and keep asking people when we pass them in the street,
Yeah.
have you voted today? Have you voted today?
It's unbelievable. So if U.S. Cellular builds up a great mailing list, so what?
Exactly.
Who cares? The high school benefits, the students benefit, the school benefits, and the community has rallied support. And we hope that people keep voting and will sign up. You can vote every day on your cell phone. It's so easy. I do it every day, and it's like a vitamin that you take.
Yeah. It's best if you stay on schedule.
Huh?
Stay on a schedule, then it helps.
Stay on a schedule. You all see Chris from time to time?
Yep.
Lisa?
Absolutely.
How is he taking all of this? Humbly? What is his position?
Well, he doesn't really like the attention.
Right.
But he knows that, we keep saying a vote for Coach Metzger is a win for Pinecrest.
Right.
So it's really about the school and the community. So I guess he is a willing participant, and he is proud of, and we're proud of him.
Yeah. He's been on this show 5 or 6 times in the last 9 years. Every time he's come on the show, and one time he came on with some of his players. I think it was Sean Pollard was here that year before he went to Clemson, and the boys spoke, and they talked about not X's and O's. They talked about being champions in the game of life, the lessons that they're learning from Coach and beyond. And every time Chris has come on, it's been in the role of a mentor. Or as a coach with another child here. So it was very impressive. Next week, we will let you know, although hopefully everybody will know that Chris has won because everybody has participated in Moore County. And it's like just voting for the quarter-cent sales tax. It's good for everybody, whether you have kids in school or not. Property values go up when the schools are in good shape. And surrounding ourselves with people like Chris Metzger, our students benefit, and the parents, as I can see how proud you are. You're just sitting here. It's very impressive. One more time, themostvaluablecoach.com and /vote. Register with your email address and keep those votes coming. We only have 3 days. I appreciate you all coming in. I'm just glad to do this. I'm very fond of Chris, and he's been very consistent over the years, and we love to support him. Carrie, thanks for coming in. Jan Williams and Lisa Hayes, I appreciate it. Let's keep voting.
Thank you for your time.
Yep, and we'll see you next week for Musicians for More, the Hurricane Relief Benefit Concert at the Railhouse Brewery on the 17th of November from noon to midnight. It will be a great cause. Everybody have a great week. Thank you.